Welcome back. If you think walking alone is enough to stay healthy after 50, today's video might surprise you. People over 50 start noticing a stubborn lower belly pooch, tightness in the low back, and a forward-leaning posture, even if their body weight hasn't changed. They may feel more tired from standing, walking, or doing simple daily tasks and assume it's just getting older. But a common hidden driver is pelvic position. When the pelvis drifts out of neutral alignment, the whole body compensates. The lower back can arch more than it should, the rib cage may flare, and the abdomen can look like it's pushing forward. Over time, this imbalance can make your stance feel unstable and your movement less efficient. The key point is that these changes aren't always about fat gain or weak willpower. They're often about mechanics. If you address pelvic alignment and restore balance through the right sequence of mobility and activation, posture and comfort can improve significantly. Building on that, here's the trap. Most people try to fix these issues by simply walking more. Walking is great for your heart, but it's mostly a straight line pattern. Forward steps, same rhythm, same angle. Real life isn't that polite. You twist to grab something, step sideways to avoid obstacles, climb stairs, get in and out of a car, or catch your balance when you trip. Those movements demand a pelvis and hips that can stabilize, rotate, and shift weight smoothly. When your pelvis is out of position, your body cheats. Your low back takes over, your knees absorb extra stress, and your glutes stay asleep. So you can walk every day and still feel tight, off balance, and stuck. If you want a real change, you need the right sequence that restores pelvic control, not just more steps. If you're ready to rebuild your movement, register now and comment, "I'll join," so I know you're actually serious. And once you understand that walking alone won't solve it, the next question is why your pelvis drifts out of place in the first place. For most people over 50, the culprit is years of sitting, repetitive forward movement, and limited hip motion. Your hip flexors, the muscles at the front of your hips, gradually tighten and shorten. When that happens, they pull your pelvis forward into an anterior tilt, like tipping a bowl of water toward the floor. The result is predictable. Your lower back overarches, your ribs flare, and your lower belly looks like it's being pushed out even if you're not gaining fat. Meanwhile, your glutes stop firing properly because the pelvis is no longer in a strong position, so your body steals the work from the low back and quads. That's why you feel stiff and off, no matter how much you try. Fix the hip flexors, and you unlock the whole chain. Now, here's where most people sabotage themselves. Once they hear tight hip flexors and sleepy glutes, they immediately go harder. Heavier squats, more crunches, deeper stretches, longer walks. Sounds disciplined, but it's often just stubborn stupidity. If your pelvis is misaligned, adding intensity is like flooring the gas while your wheels are out of alignment. You don't go faster, you just destroy the system. You'll compensate with your low back, flare your ribs, clench your quads, and then wonder why your posture still looks off and your belly still sticks out. The real problem isn't effort, it's sequence. Your body needs the right order. First, reduce the tension that's pulling the pelvis forward, then wake up the muscles that should be stabilizing it, and only after that, load the movement. Stop working harder and start working smarter, because mechanics beats motivation every time. So if harder work isn't the answer, what is? The fix is a simple 3-step reset designed to restore your pelvis and bring your glutes back online, especially for people over 50 who don't need circus workouts, they need clean mechanics. Step 1. Release the tissues that are yanking your pelvis forward, usually the hip flexors. This creates space for your body to return to neutral instead of living in that exaggerated arch. Step 2. Activate the right muscles, mainly the glutes, so your pelvis has a stable anchor again, not a weak, wobbly base. Step 3. Retrain movement patterns so your body uses hips and glutes naturally in daily life, instead of dumping the workload into your low back and knees. That order matters. Skip it and you stay stuck. Follow it, and posture starts changing fast, because now your body finally has a map. With that 3-step reset in mind, we start with step 1. Release. And the fastest win for most people is the half-kneeling hip flexor stretch. Here's the key. This isn't a yank it until it burns stretch. If you crank it too hard, your lower back will arch and you'll feed the exact pattern you're trying to fix. Instead, set up in a half-kneeling lunge, one knee down, the other foot in front. Stay tall, ribs down, and gently shift forward only until you feel the stretch in the front of the hip on the kneeling side, not in your low back. Then lightly squeeze that glute and think tuck the tail to bring the pelvis closer to neutral. Hold 20-30 seconds, switch sides. Do this daily, and you'll immediately feel your stance change, because you're removing the leash that's pulling your pelvis forward. If you're ready to do it right, register now and comment, "I'll join." So I know you're not just watching, you're executing. Right after you release those tight hip flexors, you can't just stop there. If you do, your body will drift right back into the same old pattern. That's why step 2, activate, comes next, and the best wake-up call is the glute bridge. Lie on your back with knees bent, feet about hip width, and, this part matters, keep your ribs down so you don't cheat with your low back. Take a breath out, press through your heels, and lift your hips until your shoulders, hips, knees form a near straight line. Pause for 1 to 2 seconds and squeeze your glutes like you mean it, then lower with control. Aim for 8 to 10 reps. If you feel hamstrings cramping, you're likely pushing from the toes, or your feet are too far away. Reset and drive from the heels. Done right, this flips your glutes back on, stabilizes the pelvis, and instantly makes standing and walking feel more solid. And this is exactly why the glute bridge is more than a butt exercise. After you release the hip flexors, your body finally has room to move. But without activation, it has no new habit to replace the old one. So it defaults back. Pelvis tips forward again, low back tightens, and your posture collapses like nothing changed. That's why step 2 matters. You're not just loosening a problem, you're installing a solution. The glutes are supposed to be your pelvis's main stabilizers. When they're asleep, your lower back and quads try to do the job, and they're terrible at it long term. Hello, aches, stiffness, and that stubborn lower belly push. Turning your glutes on gives your pelvis a strong anchor, reduces load on the lumbar spine, and makes your movement feel controlled instead of shaky. Release creates space. Activation creates control. That's the real game. Perfect. Now that you've released, step 1, and activated, step 2, you're ready for the part most people skip. Step 3, retrain the pattern so your body actually uses glutes in real movement. That's where the kneeling hip thrust comes in. Start kneeling with knees about hip width. Sit your hips back toward your heels, like a short hinge in kneeling. Keep your ribs down and spine neutral. No banana back posture. From there, drive your hips forward and up until your shoulders, hips, knees line up, then squeeze your glutes hard for a second. Return slowly back to the starting position and repeat 6 to 8 controlled reps. The goal is not speed, and definitely not leaning back with your lower back. If you feel it in your lumbar spine, you're cheating. You should feel glutes doing the work. Clean, strong, direct. This teaches your body the exact stand tall mechanism you need for daily life. And here's the punchline. The kneeling hip thrust isn't just another rep. It teaches your body to generate power from the hips the way you're supposed to in real life. When this pattern is missing, your body steals the work from the wrong places. Your low back extends to stand you up, your knees take extra load on stairs, and your quads do everything while your glutes stay lazy. That's why people feel stiff getting out of a chair, unstable when they turn, and tight after walking. They're moving with a compensation strategy, not a strong hip strategy. This drill rewires the sequence. Hips drive forward, glutes lock the pelvis, spine stays quiet. That's the foundation for safe bending, lifting, climbing, and balance, especially after 50, when one wrong twist can ruin a week. You're not training a muscle, you're training a movement solution. And the best part is you don't need an hour in the gym to lock this in. You need a tight daily routine under 5 minutes. After step 3 retrains the movement, step 4 is consistency. Give your body a simple daily reset so it stops slipping back into that old pelvic tilt. Do it like this. Hip flexor stretch for 20-30 seconds each side to remove the forward pull. Then glute bridge for 8 to 10 reps to switch the glutes on and stabilize the pelvis. Finish with kneeling hip thrust for 6 to 8 slow reps to teach your body to stand tall using hips, not your low back. Morning is great because it sets your posture for the day. Evening also works if you're tight and want to unwind before bed. The rule is simple. Don't chase intensity. Chase clean reps and daily rhythm. Mechanics done daily beats motivation once a week, every single time. To make this routine actually work long-term, you also need one more rule. Train smart and stay safe. If you have sharp pain, numbness, tingling, recent surgery, severe osteoporosis, or any medical condition that affects joints and balance, don't push through like a hero. That's not toughness, it's ego. These drills are meant to be gentle and precise, and they should feel like improved control, not punishment. Move slowly, breathe, keep ribs down, and stop if your low back starts taking over. If anything feels wrong or pain increases, scale back and talk to a qualified clinician. The goal is to rebuild alignment and stability over time, not win a stretching contest in one day. Consistency with clean form is what changes posture, comfort, and confidence after 50. If you're ready to do this the right way, register now and comment, "I'm in," so I know you're committed, not just consuming content.